ironic for my last social media post to be something about bravery versus courage as a contemplation of Aries versus Leo. Why would it have been my last post? Because I just had to walk by a mountain lion, y'all, and that took some courage. Whew. Now, I used to post a lot more and write a lot more and stuff. Am I lazy now? No. A lot of my work is being devoted to the School of Earth Astrology's new membership community, Constellations. If you haven't already aligned your star with ours and you'd like to learn more, head to geminibrett.com/constellations. And actually we'll start creating some more slides and example charts and animations when I get home, because today I'm teaching my monthly Earth astrology class in constellations, one on declinations, Antiscia or Antiscia, and parallels, which I'm excited to share. And I'm excited that I get to. So another thing that I'm doing for Constellations is recording astronomy videos. We have other teachers, Alyssa Luna teaching astro embodiment, Amala Hall, astro herbalism, Phelan Shiva is just about to begin monthly Astro Tarot transmissions. We have community discussions throughout the week, which have been awesome. I got to join one yesterday. And I'm contributing these astronomical videos where I'm following the sun through the phases of the zodiac, the decans, the 10-degree divisions, but not just talking about what the second face of Gemini is, because the sun is there now, and how it's long been associated, the second face of Gemini, with Mars, as the first is with Jupiter and the third is with the sun. This is the Chaldean order of planetary association with the faces of the zodiac, and how since the Golden Dawn times, I maybe just ran over a mouse or a gopher or something small. I hope not. Has been associated, the second face of Gemini, with Mars, and since the Golden Dawn time with the 9 of Swords, which is a kind of heavy card, right? Though it does feature the zodiac in it on the blanket, and might just have a stairway to heaven or a ladder made of blades. And perhaps there's many ways to read the cards and read the stars. So what I'm doing is not really focusing on the face that the sun is currently aligned to. You can't see the stars that the sun is traveling through. You will go blind trying, friends, and that's why the original zodiacs were all lunar. We can actually watch that light of the night, the moon traveling through the backdrop of the constellations, yes, or lunar mansions, or other ways that we might play with connections or constellations of fixed stars. But what I'm doing is, after the sun sets, a couple hours after sunset, recording evening stars to show what the zodiac looks like at that time of the year, and focusing on the stars that are on the following square. So with the sun now at the second face of Gemini, sun today is 11.5 Gemini, but I got it yesterday for my evening star, 2 days for my evening star, not my evening scar video. And I was focusing on the haunches of the lion, because Cheraton is just past the gate into the second face of Virgo, right? So square, the following square to the second face of Gemini, right? And so when the sun's at 10 Gemini, focusing on the stars in 10 Virgo, give us much time in the darkness of the night to connect. And then I'm waking up early these days, crazy early, because sunrise is so early, right, in these late spring months. to record what the zodiac looks like before sunrise, and then focusing on the overcoming or the preceding square to the sun's current position. So today I was focusing in on Sadal Tajer and Hydor and Scott. These are stars of the Water Bearer constellation, which are now through precession of the equinoxes or procession of the stars in this gateway of the second face of Pisces, right? So with the sun at around 10 Gemini, I'm also focusing in the morning time at 10 Pisces. Okay, that's all well and good. The other thing I'm getting to do is seeing the heliacal setting stars. Stars that I used to see after sunset in the west are now gone. And I'm taking actually from the bedroom window time lapses after sunset so we can kind of see which stars first, which ecliptic stars first come into view after sun travels from the above to the below. And those heliacal setting stars won't be around 10 degrees later. The sun's beams will swallow them as the sun prepares to travel through them. And then in the morning time, though I'm not creating time lapses there, I'm also monitoring the heliacal rising stars. This is, we believe, the way that the idea of decans was first applied. It was different back in the day than these 10-degree divisions of the ecliptic plane or the heart of the zodiac, the path of the sun, that astrology uses today. The system was based upon stars that help us keep the days, that help us keep the year, that even help us during the course of the night, help us keep the hours by looking at things like which stars are reappearing, having their heliacal rise after their time under the sun's beam. So the sun passes them by, and now they rise before the sun and are first seen this time of the year. And so I got to see this morning, so last time I was out 10 degrees ago, which is like 10 days ago, and in this case I think it was more like 11, I saw the stars of the Ram for the first time. I was actually kind of surprised to see them, but it has to do with all sorts of astronomical awesome sauce. Like I'm looking from the northern hemisphere, and the stars of the Ram are significantly north of the ecliptic or the path of the sun, and on we can go. And these are the kinds of things I'm talking about in these videos that, you know, frankly, not many students are watching, but they've been so powerfully educational for me. I am currently every 10 days in just a deep, devoted practice of things that I know theoretically or things that I have seen in my sky practice over the years, but now this consistent, dedicated, devoted, timed, right, rhythmic practice with the evening and the morning stars is teaching me so much and helping me really kind of experience with my body mind things that I've known with my brain, or experience things in the living sky. Man, why do I now get troll comments? Is there any way to mute Trey? Put user in timeout for 24 hours. Peace, Trev. Okay, but let's read Help Me 100. My birthday is June 5th, so I'm encouraged for my natal Mercury joining my natal Sun. 11th house in Gemini with Jupiter is a Leo rising, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, first house. Right on. And then just checking in with some of y'all that are here now. Greetings. Play Roblox. Yeah, I just get these I get these troll comments now. Weird. What are you gonna do? All right, anyway, I should be happy about that because I'm alive. So this morning I'm out there and I noticed algal as a morning star for the first time. Eye of Medusa, held by Perseus. And I know that Perseus stands on, from the northern hemisphere point of view, stands on the Pleiades. And that means the Pleiades will have their heliacal rise soon, which I'm very excited about. In fact, I can tell that when I'm out 10 days or 10 degrees from now, clouds allowing, that I will see the the Pleiades, and I will get to celebrate their heliacal rise. I love this. If I'm out 10 days from now, because I'm having a baby, so it might not be me waking up at 4 in the morning to charge out to record Morning Star videos at that point. I think I'll be able to keep my Evening Star videos going, but I'm not so sure about morning time. And I'm wondering about this place where I just went, because I just had a little bit of an encounter with a mountain lion, which is like the one being around here where I live in the hills of Northern California, that you don't want to meet because you could die. So I just want to say before I go there that I got to see the knot of the fish this morning and record on the camera for the folks who are following these videos and constellations, that at this time of the year, with the sun in the second phase of Gemini, here where I reside, 38 degrees north of Earth's equator in Richmond, California, same latitudes as Athens, Greece, that it's at this time of the year where we see the rebirth, the heliacal rising of Alratia. That's the knot of the fish that ties the two fish together. Not really an ecliptic star, but a very important star as far as zodiacal constellations go. And you know what? It's ecliptic enough. So working with that star, actually, which is south of the ecliptic, and the Ram stars, which are north, are helpful. So speaking of Ram, recently I was contemplating the difference between bravery and courage. And the idea is that bravery, like, fear doesn't exist. We're not like overcoming fear. We're not ignoring our fear to go charge into the flaming house to save the child within. In those moments, there is no fear, right? You just go. And that's very Aries and very Ram. And so today I was actually contemplating, where are you if a ram's charging you? It's just too fast. Well, where are you if you hear the kind of grumblings? I don't know if I would describe it as a roar, but of a mountain lion. Where I was make some noise, get big. And for me, that was because I had my camera, my tripod with me, extend the legs of my tripod, kind of swing them around above my head so that I seemed tall, and back the F up. So I walked up the hill and I thought maybe I'd wait for sunrise, and the sun has that, fiery energy, of course, exalted in Aries, domicile in Leo, right? So the sun's a really cool teacher of this difference of this fire trine as well. And I decided after some time, and it was getting lighter, that I would just make this move and walk back down in this hill to my car. Now, my car has a remote start. And so as I was approaching the place where I had heard the mountain lion before backing up, and I mean, I backed up a long way and went back to my morning sky spot. I was banging the legs of my tripod together, which fortunately got these dogs barking, because right now the goat herders are mowing the lawn in the hills over here by our home, where I hike my dog a ton, and where I go for these morning sky works, because I can't see east well from my home. And this is a place that gets me up on a perch in the hills where I can see the full range of the ecliptic from the east to the west. And right now, I guess there's some goats mowing up there because I've come to know the trailer of the goat herder. Um, because, you know, when we're out in parks around here, like very awesomely, instead of hearing these loud lawnmowers, like goats are hired to do the tending of the brush in many places, right? And so the goat trailer has been down here, and I noticed them for the first time a few nights ago when my friend Carolyn came out here and we did some night sky work. Um, and so a kind of cool thing for me was as I was like clanking the legs of my tripod as I'm walking past this like trees, this kind of brush and grove where I'm sure a mountain lion was, at least the first time I started walking by, when I heard the mountain lions kind of rumble or roar. I don't know what it was, you know, roar, like crazy loud, scary, you know, guttural sound, right? So as I'm walking back down towards that place, I start banging together the legs of my tripod, swinging it above my head. So I'm like loud and tall. I'm making kind of guttural sounds and wondering if that's a little bit too much of a charge. So I started like chanting some chants of protection that I have learned some time ago. My minivan has a remote start, so you can get the engine warm on a cold day. And so I click that button, and so the minivan honks and the engine starts, and I'm just trying to get noises from everywhere. I got the goat herders, dogs barking, I've got the minivan thing, I got my tripod clinking, I'm kind of chanting and quickly moving past these trees, and it's cool, and here I am. Anyway, the difference between bravery and maybe we could say an Aries energetic and Leo, or courage, and maybe we could say a Leo energetic, is that bravery, at least according to this one article I read, and it feels very real, is there is no fear. It's before fear. You just act. You're not acting in the face of fear. Fear does not exist. And again, like I'm just kind of contemplating, if a ram charges you, you don't have time to be afraid. You just do. And I imagine that is also true if a lion or a mountain lion is charging you as well. But when you just hear the roar, or hear the grumble in the dark brush, now that is fear. At least for me, I assume you would be in that world too, yes? So I was really afraid. And by the way, there have been mountain lion sightings in our area. There's now a sign posted where I'm hiking up to my Morningstar space. There's a sign posted actually in like the park just down the hill from our house. Our boy said he saw a mountain lion in the behind our fence the other day. He said he saw a coyote, a wolf, and then it was a mountain lion, and I'm not so sure, right? I saw just that day, actually, when we were driving to school, 15 minutes later, we saw a coyote from that zone cross the street. And I was like, there's that coyote you saw. He's like, no, I saw a mountain lion. And I'm like, I hope not, because I have a little lion, a little kitty. I have a dog, about to have a baby. I have a me. Right? And I don't know if maybe this means, because Carolyn actually the other day told me that most mountain lion attacks. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess it's an attack. You know, these are beings that gotta eat, right? But that they happen at dusk and dawn. And so here I am at dawn, and it's still dark, and I'm hearing this grumbling in the trees, and maybe, given that we're about to have a baby, the right thing would be for me not to go out and risk my life to connect with heliacal rising stars and teach the zodiac. Like maybe I should stick with nighttime in my backyard. And I don't know. And I'm really excited to see the heliacal rise of the Pleiades in 10 degrees. And I think I'll just keep it going. So we'll see. But I will say, when I do next, I'm going to have to overcome fear that I haven't had to before, because though I honor and appreciate these mountain lion sightings in the area and the signs that I see, there's a difference between mental contemplation, awareness, whispers, and experience. When something's happening in your body, right? You're in a whole nother world, which again is why I'm going out to experience the stars rather than just looking at them on a chart. All right, let me try to connect in here. Linda writes, 2 nights ago, neighbors had a huge fight. I looked out the spy hole of my front door to see her running up the building stairs. Got to say, jolly Jupiter, sense of humor. All right. Something about discretion and valor comes to mind, right, Tim? Cool. Say more, Tim. Educate me. What is valor versus courage would be cool to hear. Sounds like I already have an example. Interesting. A new definition over the years to come because of Pluto and our social communities, which would be something about Pluto into Aquarius. All right. Well, I'm either too tired, and my eyes are certainly too tired to understand what's happening here. All right, so I see that some of y'all are just having a conversation, which is wonderful. Babies love baby seats when you're on a drive. Yes, they do. Okay. Cool. Hey, if you're in constellations, and I know many of you are, I see a couple of you here. I hope to see you in 3.5 hours for a transmission on declinations, antiskia, which most astrologers call intisha, but skia is Greek for shadow, on parallels. And we'll speak at the end in parallels and synastry. I'll just set up actually a class that will come in the Scorpio month, where I'll take parallels to another level and we'll utilize them in synastry charts. But that will be a focus on more like synastry and working with merged charts like composite and Davison charts and the like. Class will be awesome today, as it is in constellations. For my classes, I'll transmit for about 90 minutes, and then we'll take a little break, and then we will have community discussion and live chart examples and contemplate what our own personal parallels or your parallels look like. If y'all want to join, look, I'm still offering constellations at the maiden voyage price of only $16 a month. And you literally get 4 classes a month and so much more than that. And like right now we have 5 dedicated times for community discussions so you can connect with fellow star seekers. It's an amazing space. So geminibrett.com/constellations, or you can go to geminibrett.com and click the community tab, constellations community tab. It will take you there. Sign up and you'll get your password and stuff sent to you instantaneously, and you can sign into the page and click the meetups tab and then find the Zoom link to join class, which will be at 9 a.m. Pacific time today, June 1st, 2024. Happy June to you if you're into that whole Gregorian trip. And there's already 2 master classes I've already taught waiting for you in the constellation space, and astro herbalism class, and 3 astro embodiment transmissions. And the community is growing and just getting more and more awesome. There's some really wonderful folks sharing wonderful heart and mind in that space. And I hope you'll think about joining us. And I'm happy to be alive to teach. So thanks for spending some time with me on the way home. See you in space, y'all. Peace.